Hello, hello. My name is Jamie Verk, or J Love, and I'm an intuitive energy healer and a health transformation coach. I help people navigate transition in their lives and find greater health and happiness. And today I want to come in and offer a few words about what it means to feel grounded. This is probably a term you've heard many times, but what does it mean? What does it feel like? How do you recognize if you're ungrounded? And for some of us, it's really obvious. People who suffer from anxiety, who feel shortness of breath, who feel that like nervous energy in their stomach, they know exactly what it means to feel ungrounded, because those feelings take us out of our body. They take us into like the future, where we start to think about the what ifs, and those things just pull us further and further away from the earth and up into all the what ifs that live in the ethers. Grounding yourself is such an important tool to be able to be present, to be able to be in the full experience of your life. Grounding is a useful tool to be more productive in your day-to-day work, or to just be able to enjoy time with someone that you care about in a much more rich and fulfilling way. So I am going to teach you some of my favorite easy tools for feeling grounded. And you might want to make this a practice that you do every single day to start the day off on the right foot. Our daily habits are the most important way in which we can keep ourselves grounded. Routine is so valuable in terms of feeling like you have this grounded energy, you've got things under control, even if everything is super chaotic in your life. You just have that rooted sense of, you know what, whatever this day will bring will not sweep me away into the wind. I am here and I know the steps that I need to take to get to that next place. So starting first thing in the morning, before you get out of bed, you might not even have opened your eyes yet. Grounding back into our bodies. So sometimes when we sleep, we're going off into like some subconscious journey. Who knows? Sometimes people go off into different worlds, they're traveling. So just coming back into your body after you've been sleeping for, however many hours, hopefully at least 8 hours, it's a great way to just start your day off on the right foot. So personally, when I wake up in the morning, I have made a habit to ground myself into the vibration of gratitude, of just saying, I like to touch myself, hold my body, and I start my day with saying, thank you for this beautiful body. Thank you for this beautiful life. And, if there are other things that you have to be grateful for, maybe it's the people that you have in your life. Maybe it's the job that you get to do. Maybe it's the fact that you don't have to worry financially today about how you're going to feed yourself. Whatever it is that you have to feel great fullness for, great appreciation for, just taking a quick moment to acknowledge and recognize that. And if that doesn't work for you, I'm sure it will. Or if that's not a practice that you're interested in getting to yet, very powerful, maybe one day. Just your breath, being conscious and aware of your breath is going to help you ground into the day, into the moment. So again, you might not have even opened your eyes yet. You realize that you're awake. Maybe you hear the birds chirping. Maybe you hear, a police siren going or a horn honking. If you're in Toronto like me and you sleep with your windows open, doesn't matter where in the city you are, these soundscapes exist to wake us up in the morning. And it's just taking 5 really full breaths and becoming aware of the surrounding sounds. And breathing through your nose or breathing through your mouth, that doesn't matter. And just drawing your energy from wherever's around you, wherever you were in the dream world, into the physical body, and placing the body in your room, in your bed, in the city you're in. And that's going to help you to ground. Another thing you can do is to actually visualize yourself outside and planting your feet firmly on the ground and taking, you know, a couple of really slow meditative steps, you know, planting the heel and then slowly transferring the weight into the whole foot and then lifting the other foot and bringing it forward and just walking, watching yourself in that locomotive movement. That's also going to help you to ground. Bowie agrees. Bowie's an extremely grounded dog. And not just visualizing yourself, but if you're feeling really spun around, really out of sorts, maybe you've gone through something that is just really traumatic or has brought a lot of emotions up to the table that you're just not ready to deal with. One of my favorite grounding practices after morning routine grounding practices would be to actually physically go outside and feel your feet connected to the earth. To go find a grassy space and just connect with Mother Earth energy and allow yourself to walk or to dance or to stomp your feet, shake out your limbs, brush off your body. A lot of time people don't realize this, but when you do live in a busy city, or if you have a very open heart, maybe let's say you're very empathetic, which means you feel a lot of other people's emotions. You don't necessarily realize this, but you're actually taking on what's around you. And that can also give you a sense of feeling ungrounded because they're not your feelings. They're not your emotions. And so you almost feel like out of body, like what is happening to me right now? Like, where is all this anxiety coming from? And so making a habit of like physically like brushing things off your body, or even taking a shower will help do that. Visualizing rain pouring down onto your body and giving that energy to Mother Earth, again, grounding that energy down into the earth. That's gonna help you to ground yourself. And grounding is a way of just being fully present with where you are and letting go of anything that you don't need is a helpful grounding practice. Feeling connected to the earth, feeling at home in your body or what's around you. I'm going to talk about the signs of being ungrounded. I talked a little bit about it, but here, if you get distracted easily, if you're someone that's super spacey, like you're just not present with what's in front of you, you're thinking a lot. Maybe people who are inventors, creators are often in that thinking space, in space, literally in space, and not connected to the earth. If you're someone that overthinks, if you're just like ruminating on things that happened in the past or things are going to happen in the future, that's not being grounded. If you're someone that gets easily engaged in a personal drama, like, ugh, my neighbor's upstairs, they're always complaining, they're always driving me crazy. That's my personal drama. That's a sign that you're also not grounded. And then in the physical body, like feeling anxiety, feeling stress, being aware of that stress, being attached to that stress, that again is taking you out of your ability to be grounded. So just noticing when these things come up for you. If you're constantly thinking about material things, kind of living on the surface of life, that's a sign that you might need more grounding practice to really connect to what's truly important in the core. And I think a lot of us are being met with that right now because so many of our liberties have been taken away for the last so many months. So we really had no choice but to get real about where we're spending our time and energy and thoughts. And some people are getting overwhelmed by these things and getting even more ungrounded. And then there's those of us who have really anchored into the uncertain times and really just all we have is this moment right now because we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. So that grounding practice has really helped us be okay with all the chaos that's happening outside of our homes, outside of our bodies right now. If you're someone that feels like you're very gullible, like people can tell you something and you just immediately believe them, that's a sign that you're actually ungrounded. You're so open that you're allowing anyone else's storyline to become your own and feeding into that narrative. If you're obsessed with the way your personal image, the way you show up in the world and how other people think of you, again, that's not being grounded and feeling safe in who you are and where you are in the world right now. And I'm not saying these things to make you feel bad, but just to like, oh yeah, like I do that a lot. Maybe adopting a daily ritual around grounding will help you get out of those things that take you away from who you are and where you are in space, that grounding sense. Some physical signs of being ungrounded might include if you have inflammation in your body, if you feel out of control with how you feed yourself and what you feed yourself. Like you're hungry a lot of the time, and so you're just grabbing whatever's available to you. You're not planning your meals, you're not shopping for yourself. If you have chronic pain and you're highly aware of your chronic pain. So for an example, I was in a car accident 6 years ago and I couldn't think about anything but how much pain I was in. And that kept me in that loop of constantly feeling the pain because I was not grounded in what else was happening in my life. I was so consumed by that one thing, it just spun me out of control. If you're exhausted, have you ever experienced that where you're just so tired, you're like totally out of sorts, you don't know if you're being pulled here or there, where you are? That's another way that physically your body starts to recognize when it's ungrounded. So exhaustion. In that same breath, and in the food breath, dehydration. Most of us are chronically dehydrated, which means most of us are sometimes chronically ungrounded. So any habits that you can put into place around your nutrition, around your hydrating your body, is gonna help you to ground. If you're someone that has poor circulation, so blood is not flowing efficiently through your body, that also can have to do with, grounding practices. And I'm listing a lot of things most humans struggle with: their nutrition, with drinking enough water, with being consumed by stress and anxiety and other people around them. So really, like, ungrounding is something that every human being, or having a grounding practice is something that every single human being will benefit from. And so as we continue to move through this time of transformation, global transformation, we're all going through this, this change in how we live our lives. It is so important to pick up these habits that help you to feel safe, help you to feel secure, and help you to implement some daily habits, some self-care rituals that will help to feel more anchored into what your truth and reality is, and not what the narratives that you're listening to on the news are, not what your neighbors are buzzing about or your family is buzzing about, but really feeling anchored in your own personal safety and security. So I'm hoping that some of the tools I've just given you will help. And just to recap, let's go back to the very beginning of the day, focusing on gratitude, the gratitude practice. Thank you for this beautiful body. Thank you for this beautiful life. And just thanking and finding appreciation for all the things that you have to be grateful for. There are lots of them, even if you feel like there is not a lot. I'm sure you can always find one, and the smaller the thing, the more profound it actually is. So having a roof over our heads is probably the most potent way we can express gratitude for what we have. Having that bit of safety, having a bed, having clean drinking water. Some of the people in this world do not have that luxury. And I'm sure you have plenty to be grateful for, and especially when you start to think of it, gratitude is such a profound practice. It's helped me through the most traumatic experiences of my life, and I'll come back and talk about gratitude another time. But here we're coming back to grounding. So gratitude for grounding. The second practice, again, eyes closed, first thing in the morning, is deep, mindful, focused breath. Doesn't matter how long you breathe in for or how long you breathe out for, breathing through the nose or breathing through the mouth. Again, that doesn't matter. Maybe you set a timer for 5 minutes and you just breathe for 5 minutes. Maybe you just take those 5 breaths because that's all you have time for. But that habit alone will set you into a more steady, relaxed, confident space for the rest of your day, and it may help you to be more productive in your job if you just ground and anchor yourself first. So we have breathing, we have gratitude, and we're getting to the next one, which is visualization. So actually taking a moment to visualize yourself standing on the earth and walking those slow meditative steps, transferring the weight, feeling that rhythm in how you move through space. Outside of the morning routine, actually going outside, taking your shoes off, putting your feet on the earth, and just being barefoot. That is going to be really grounding. Anything that you do that's making contact with your feet on the ground is going to help you to ground. Even if you just are sitting in a chair and for a few minutes you just plant the four corners of your feet down, and I say, and you say, you know, I feel my feet on the ground. I feel grounded. That's going to help you to ground. If you have the intention to bring the awareness in, it will happen for you. Dancing, jumping up and down, feeling steady, balancing, all grounding practices. I hope that this little bit of info has sparked an idea in you, whether that's when you're recognizing when you're ungrounded or giving you a couple of tools to help ground yourself in moments of chaos, or just starting your day feeling grounded in who you are and where you are in space. There is so much power in that, setting those little self-care rituals. They add up to make big change and transformation when you do them with consistency. So I'm going to leave you with a grounding challenge. So for the next 5 days, choose one of those grounding tools and see how it feels to do them for 5 days in a row. Trust me, on that 6th day, you're gonna wanna do them. Maybe you're someone who forgets really easily. My best tip for those of you who do is to put it in your phone, set an alert 5 minutes before you wanna do it, and there you are, accountable for 5 days of this challenge, no excuses. It is up for you to take radical responsibility of your health if you want to empower yourself. No one else in this world is going to really help you but you. And I'm not saying that because it's a bad thing. I'm saying that because we've been taught to rely on everyone around us, and trust me, people are not easy to rely on. If you're doing that, you're constantly going to be disappointed. But you know what? There's one person you can rely on, and this person you are stuck with for the rest of your life. Look in the mirror. It is you. And so taking this action, loving action towards yourself, is just you affirming how important you are in your life. And I hope that does inspire you. Sending so much love from my heart to yours. Thank you for listening and tuning in. If you are curious about how to use nutrition to help ground yourself back into some real healthy habits, check out our next Nutrition Reset, Body Love Mission, 14 days Nutrition Reset starting August 18th. Peace and love for now. Ciao, ciao. Have a wonderful day.